Hello and welcome to Rise Up, where we learn about different fields for teens through experts in those fields. Today, we will be interviewing someone from Fluor. For those of you who don't know about Fluor, an EPC company, made about $20 billion in terms of revenue in 2018 alone. Fluor is also a Fortune 500 company, ranking at 181 in 2020, and has been acknowledged as one of the world's most ethical companies by Ethisphere for the last 14 years. So please, without further ado, welcome our very highly esteemed guest, Mr. Raj Desai. Good day.
Hey, good day, Moulik.
So Mr. Desai is a Senior Vice President of Procurement and Contracts at the Chief Commercial Strategist at Fluor Corporation. Mr. Desai is one of the pioneers in terms of modern commercial procurement strategies, having been in the industries for about 3 decades, with some highlights being an interview with the Economic Times, Times of India, Millennium Post, and The Pioneer, along with a meeting with the Prime Minister of India to discuss relations between India and the US in terms of the energy sector, interacting with CEOs and major corporations from all around the world, and managing a team not only from all around the world, but actually all around the world. So, first of all, let me just say that is quite amazing. And it's really a pleasure to have you here for the interview. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Moulik. Thanks for this opportunity. Really looking forward to talk to you and see how best we can make this work. And first of all, congratulations on setting up this channel. I'm pretty sure this is going to help a lot of people across the globe, the young folks who would like to join the industry. So thanks for making it happen, Moulik.
Oh, thank you. So let's get right into it. I'd like to start off with the industry as an overall. So what is an EPC company exactly, as many teens, including myself, don't exactly know?
Well, Moulik, an EPC company is an engineering, procurement, and construction company. So say, for example, an end client like Shell or Exxon or any major company, if they would like to have a refinery set up in a place called Timbuktu, which is far land, a company like Fluor would basically go there, look at the land, make sure that there may be a mountain there may be a lake, whatever is there, they will do the ground leveling. They will make sure that the region or the place where you have the plot plan set up for engineering is in the right level, so that the soil engineering is done, and finally the foundations are made as well in order to bear the load of that whole new plant that is going to come up. And after that, they would do their own engineering. They would get products from all over the globe to make things happen in that particular land. And then finally, you come out with a full-fledged refinery or petrochemical complex, whatever you are building. And after the steam comes out, the Fluor team would come out of that plant and let the owners get in and make sure that the plant starts running and the final product that is required comes out. So that's the overall scope of engineering, procurement, and construction.
Wow. Oh, I see. And EPC. Okay. Well, that's some great insight on that. I didn't know that before. And what about the industry? You as I stated before, you've been in the industry for almost 3 decades, right? So first of all, congrats on that. That is a long time for the industry to change. So how have you seen the industry change, and how do you believe the industry is going to change now? And the reason I ask this is for all the potential, not only the potential employees out there, but also the employees out there right now, on how the industry might be changing and how they could cope with that and better prepare themselves for that.
Well, I can tell you, Moulik, you have hit the bullseye over here. When you say change, the only constant thing in an EPC world is change. And that's a constant phenomena that keeps on happening across. I can remember the days when people used to take a draft board and really make engineering drawings with a draft board and all the instruments that they needed to prepare an engineering drawing. These days, you are on CAD, and everything is on computers. And now we are moving forward in the digital world where you are getting artificial intelligence inputs in the digital world, and the engineering has taken a broadly new shape. The procurement has gone into a very different scenario where again you are taking augmented reality and artificial intelligence, superimposing each of them, and then trying to get and build models as to how your pricing would work for multi-billion-dollar projects around the globe, getting materials from all over the globe in different currencies, different countries where things are so dynamic, and you are yet making a project happen within a budget which goes over a period of 4 years. So there has to be a predictability, and things like that happen as well. So it's continuously changing. And of course, the construction technology, huge, massive change with new and size have gone up drastically. Early days, we used to have a smaller equipment. Now the capacity of the plants have gone much bigger. The risk that we see on a project has gone much bigger as well. A project which was generally $1 billion project, which was considered to be a very big project, is no more a big project. It's now a medium-sized project. These days, projects are worth about 12 to 14 billion dollars, and those are the projects we are executing right now.
Wow. Just to summarize a bit, the industry has not only changed in terms of the technology, in terms of the physical technology, but also using software to incorporating software into the company and all that.
Absolutely.
Wow. To hone in a bit, how has the procurement industry in this changed? How have the negotiation tactics or strategies changed throughout this 3 decades?
Well, the world has been so dynamic these days, and of course, the effect of globalization is felt in each and every aspect of procurement. In those early days, we used to buy from 1 or 2 countries, and most of the things were local, and we used to get that material from those 1 or 2 countries and make things happen. Today, in terms of globalization, the whole world has opened up, and you can procure material from all over the globe depending on where the currencies are favorable, where the labor factors are favorable, and at the same time, the material availability and the steel costs. So within those dynamics, I can buy the same steel out of Korea, India, China, or Brazil, and I can tell you that the price difference could be as big as 40 to 50% depending on what country I buy and at what time. So again, the dynamism of the market is what I'm talking about over here. Today, India could be the lowest bidder for a product, and after 4 or 5 months, if I go for the same product, there is no way India would be the lowest bidder kind of thing, because currencies would have changed, taxation would have changed, the tariffs would have come on those products, and that's the reason I would go to another country for buying the same material and getting the same kind of thing at a much lower price compared to what I bought 4 months back from India. And so that's what you have to make sure that you get the best buy at the lowest best possible price with best delivery, and of course the best quality as well.
Wow. As if you've seen, you have a team all around the world, so who report to you. So what are some differences that you have noticed in terms of the culture in the workplace, whether that be in how one comes down and sits down for a negotiation, holds themselves, or whether that be talking wise as well, whether that be in the formal talk, whether the way they dress themselves? What are some changes that you've seen throughout the world?
It's amazing, and that's a great part of the job that I love. Basically, I get to see and meet people from around the globe with different cultures, and again, the negotiation techniques that I would use in Middle East would be totally different compared to how I would negotiate in Asia versus that in Europe and Western America kind of thing, right? So, I mean, it's a total different set of rules that you have in terms of negotiations, and at the same time, the meeting and the culture as well. But finally, everyone would have the same aim of making money for their business that they are working on, and in that process, you need to make sure that you respect the cultures on the other side, at the same time get the best for your company. I don't think that's challenging. It's actually very interesting in making that happen. And I can tell you that that real aspect of and the taste of managing those cultures well. If you do that, your battle is half won. The rest of it is just going through the number game and making things happen over a meeting. But again, like you say, it's a namaste, a hug, or a kiss kind of thing, and that's how it goes in terms of greetings in those meetings, whether you are in India or you are in Middle East or you are in Spain, right, or in Europe. So that's how it goes. But I can tell you, it's amazing how those cultures change. But the end product that everyone wants is the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. Um, and now shifting from a little bit of your team to more of you, um, how did you get attracted to this industry? What kind of passion did you have, or what kind of hobbies did you have, or likings that you have that can be associated with this industry?
Well, one basic thing is this business acumen. If you have a strong business acumen, then this is exactly what you land into. So that basically was a major factor over here. Of course, then the academics do play a role as well. Being a mechanical engineer and then getting into the other side of the world, where I got my master's in finance and another master's in international business. That did help me a lot in terms of getting to the slot that I'm in right now in terms of the work that I do. But at the same time, it's hard work and making sure that you create dollar value for your company and your employer that you are working for. So it's a journey, and that journey does not end till the day you retire. And every day you learn something more and try and do something better for the company compared to what you had done yesterday for the company, creating a dollar value. And again, that commercial mindset is something that you are looking for in every given situation. You look for an opportunity to make an additional dollar that is possible for your stakeholders that you all are working for. So with that mindset, you basically land into this space that I'm talking about. And again, like I said, culture is another big part of it, making sure that you learn about those cultures, respect those cultures, and sometimes blend into those cultures to really make things happen in the best interest of your employer as well as yourself.
So would you say that you got drawn into the industry because of your passion for creating a change or impacting a change, and learning about different cultures themselves, or interacting with different cultures themselves, or would you say it's something else?
No, absolutely. That's how it is, right? Creating value was the end goal for everything that I would do, right from the when I would wake up in the morning, and at the end of the day, I would sit back and reflect as to what value did I add today for the company, what did I do for my employers, how I made things happen, and that's exactly what I go for. Uh, once you are in that mindset, and once you are in that process, that basically drives you to make a change happen in the improvement of the work process that you had yesterday compared to what you are going to have today, right? So
Mhm.
go for that, and then it just happens. And of course, I can tell you the rest of the elements of nature blends into a curve to help you out and make sure you get what you want out of your goals.
Mhm. Mhm. I see. And what about as a businessman, right? As a businessman, who would look like an ideal person for the job? This would serve as, kind of a model for what kind of profile students who should start to build, and whether that be in terms of education, whether that be in terms of character, whether that be in terms of mindset. How would your ideal person look like, a businessman?
Well, ethics come first. That lays a very strong foundation in terms of business rules that you get into. Once you are ethically strong and make sure that you focus, whether it is work ethics or whether they are ethical principles of doing business. Once that is laid back, and you know the rules of the game, follow the law of the land that you are going to work into as well, because you are into international business. Those strong foundations and those strong qualities will definitely help you to build pillars of hard work and then dedication that you are talking about, to get your building that basically gets you to the level of success as you plant your last flagpole on the top of the building that you got into. So this is, in short, what I described as an EPC. In an EPC world, when we construct something to make it happen, this is exactly what happens in your life and career as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see. And a little bit separate from that, what would be one piece of advice you would give to your younger self with your current knowledge? And the reason is that a multitude of teens around the globe may come across or face the same problems that you may have had. So this would serve for them basically as a word of caution or as a word of advice. So what would you give to them?
Well, again, read more, learn more about the people that you are going to meet before a meeting that you are going to have. Once you understand the way they are going to get into, prepare yourself in a way in terms of, again, having a technical as well as your commercial acumen in such a way that you lead towards a path of where your goal is. That's what I would advise to the younger folks, kind of thing. And I can tell you that during this journey that I'm talking about, I met tons of people from different lifestyles and different ages and different ethnic background, and I can tell you that once you blend into that, all of a sudden the path towards success, or the pavement of the road towards success is made for you, and the walking path becomes much more easier compared to how it was. It was indeed difficult when I started my career, as I did not know exactly what I was walking into when I moved from India to UK first, and then I was all over Europe, where every country had a different way of doing business. Every country had a different way of presenting themselves and getting to the end goal of the business transaction that you want to get onto. But that's a learning in the life. But at the same time, if you have got that exposure with the kind of exposure that the younger generation has today in terms of the internet, that gets you the exposure on a global base, that's going to help you much better. And utilizing those technologies and those means would definitely help you prepare yourself much better for this journey.
Right. So to summarize a bit, it'd basically be knowledge of what you're going into, a knowledge of what you're walking into would be really important, no matter where that be, whether that be to a meeting or whether that be into a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Moulik, that's how you go for it.
Mm-hmm. And what about aside from your job? Aside from your job, what kind of mindset did you start off with? And has that changed in any way? And the reason being is if it was an easy job, honestly, you'd see everyone at that position, right? You were able to get to your position for a reason, right? With your own ups and downs. So how did you push through them?
Well, it so happens, again, I can tell you this: there is no substitution for hard work. And when you work hard, it's just not work hard, but you need to have a smart work put into that whole thing. Thinking strategically, whether it is for my work or for my career, had always been the way of moving forward. Put in a right strategy to look at your career goals as well. And once you put those strategies, look at the environment, adjust your strategies and adjust your way of making things happen as the global environment around you changes, because that's again one of the constant things that keeps on moving around. And as soon as those things change, you need to adjust yourselves to make sure that you are not moving from the trajectory that you want to get into. So storms do come. You do deviate because of winds blowing in a different direction, but again, getting back to your path is what you are looking for. Make sure you make that happen, and don't divert yourself or don't get distracted from whatever happens around you, and definitely you'll be able to reach where you want to.
So you'd say basically that not only is hard work important in terms of mindset, and not only working smart, but also building a plan in terms of having a fixed mindset, but fixed enough that you're still flexible to change around and work with your surroundings.
Very true, Moulik.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And so, talking about flexibility, how do you deal with the health aspect of this job? As this job must be quite challenging, a quite challenging task. And the reason being is that you must deal with a lot of stress, right? So if people in the future were to achieve this position, how would be a good way to decompress? As in, how would you decompress, and how are some other ways that you would suggest to decompress?
Well, what I would say here, Maulik, is of course, like I said, it's life and career is full of uncertainty. Things keep on happening, and you saw the recent pandemic situation that has shaken the entire globe, kind of thing. Uh, what I would say is prepare yourself for the worst and put in the efforts for the best, and then let the nature do its work, kind of thing. Put in all those efforts that you can to get the best possible results, and again, be prepared for the worst that could happen after putting those best effort, and make sure you have a plan B and plan C in place to make sure things work out in the direction that you want to get into. So that's what I personally ensure. Again, now in terms of stress, once you have done your work and once you have put in your best, just get out of it, and let the, like I said, let the nature do its course in rest of the way, and let the environment do its course rest of the way. You have given the best, and you should be satisfied with that, and see what the end results come out with, and then accept that result and then move on, kind of thing. On a part B or part C, as you would see, if that's not what you wanted, but stay on your goal and don't just move out of it. Stress is an element, or it's a mental state, kind of thing. If you take it, it comes to you. If you just deny that and just get over it, and think positively of whatever has happened for good, it works out quite well.
Hmm. So I got two things from that. The first would be that if you work hard enough, if you put in your best, that the chances are that you'll be more satisfied with what you're doing, even if it weren't to succeed. But you have your plan B and C to ensure that. I'm seeing that as more of putting in your best, right? And the second thing I got from that was that stress is something that is constantly around you. It's whether you let it get into you and grow in you. So
Right.
I see. So that's some amazing thoughts. Those are some amazing thoughts that you've given for us. And one of my final questions would be, will you be changing something post COVID-19? And the reason I'm asking is that through COVID-19, many people were able to reflect on many previously buried things, right? Whether it's for work, whether it's for personal life. So what, if so, what one thing are you going to be changing after or post COVID-19?
Well, the COVID situation basically brought a lot of us in the industrial world, in the career world, to a reset position, kind of thing, where you are almost resetting your way of doing business, the way things are going to be around you. A lot of businesses have come down. A lot of businesses will go away, kind of thing, as well. And that's the reality of life. That's the uncertainty that you'll be facing. So make sure that you be prepared for those kind of uncertainties as well. And at the same time, like you said, this is moving from a scenario where everyone is on a plane setting level, and now you are starting back again. This is the time to rethink in terms of how did we make things happen in the past, and how can this go in a very different level. Once you have your strategic moves right in the place, and just sticking to that path, probably that's going to help you a lot as you move on. And that's exactly what I'm going to do as well, Maulik. And in terms of both my personal life and my professional career as well, just looking back and looking at those things that mattered the most, are really not so important. And if you do the right things, probably the 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 path towards your goal is not going to get shortened, but at least the speed with which you will go will be much better moving forward.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. So, to take some key things from this entire interview, you'd say that hard work is a really important thing, but along with hard work, knowing or knowledge about what you're going into is also important. But
Absolutely.
also along with that, you'd say that although having a goal, a clear defined goal to where you're going, and with that flexibility would also be an important thing where you're able to constantly shift if needed, where you're able to take quick decisions. Would you say so that would be an important thing, right? And
Right.
I see as throughout this interview, I see that reflecting on oneself and one's goals would be a really important thing. So I correct me if I'm wrong. I believe these may be some of the most important things that a businessman may need, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I see, and of course that may I'm guessing that is an everlasting thing throughout history. Having hard work, possessing hard work, possessing knowledge, and being flexible in terms of dealing with any situation possible. So
True.
this has been a really great interview. I really thank you for making the time to come to this interview and provide your great insight, your knowledgeable insight, since you've been through this journey, many of us which haven't been through. So again, thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it. I'm probably sure that many teens around the world really do appreciate it as well, as they're getting insight from really an expert in the field. So thank you so much for that again. And before we shut off, would you have anything, last words or last things to say?
Absolutely. Just would like to sum up everything in one sentence kind of thing. Fix your goal. Make sure that you don't move your goalpost around. Like I said, things would change and winds would blow in one direction today and another tomorrow. Uh, Relax, reset yourself, readjust your strategies, and make sure that even though the path is different, you walk towards the same goal and make sure that that happens. Hard work, again, has no substitution. Thank you so much, Maulik.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.